An ex-Disney employee now says what we've been reporting for years. Lucasfilm wanted to destroy the original trilogy and prequels under Kathleen Kennedy. It was all part of the plan. Kill the past was real. Now, the company is so hobbled that they're testing whether or not Luke, Leia, and Han are still popular at all. But fans are ripping Disney just ahead of the Mandalorian Grogu's big screen debut. It's a great day, folks. Welcome back yet again, where we are trying to make the world a better place every single day. Why do we cover entertainment? Because everything is downstream of the culture, and culture happens in pop culture, especially for kids. The heroes we pick, the stories we choose, it's where we decide where we're going to go as a group. Ladies and gentlemen, out of laughing place, click the like button. Luke Manning has this one. All the way back in January, new timeline brings Luke, Han, Leia, and Darth Vader to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. This got some mockery back then, right? Darth looks like Darth, but Luke looks like a kid. Got a little mockery. Why? Well, because suddenly Disney was ready to turn tail, tuck tail, and do what they had to do to bring back the original characters, because the sequel trilogy characters are a total flop. The whole sequel trilogy is a complete and total flop. It's a dumpster fire of epic proportions. And so we got a comic even. This was reported over on ICV2.com. New comic series ties in with Disneyland theme park updates, because you can't just put the characters in the theme park. You got to explain why they're there. Because the whole land in Disneyland and Walt Disney World, which has yet to receive these characters, well, they're set immediately after The Last Jedi. Because the geniuses at Lucasfilm and Disney Parks decided that was the best place to put Star Wars canonically in the parks. Really, The Last Jedi. I can't pick a better film to base a theme park land on, can you? But they made a comic about it to explain it because the wokies are mad. So how's this going, the execution? Well, as you can see here, let's play it again. We can't play the audio because it's got Star Wars music, but there is Leia, or at least sort of Leia. I've got a reason why this does not look great, okay? And I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be kind because these actors, they can't help it. But the casting here leaves a lot to be desired, and that's an understatement for sure. Okay, let's go to Han. How's Han look in the Disneyland intro, right? We haven't had these characters in Star Wars land ever. Kind of crazy, right? To have the main Star Wars characters not be in Star Wars lands. But the reality is they wanted to kill the past. We'll get the Disney employee statement in just a second. I don't know what they're thinking. I can't tell that that's Han Solo whatsoever. I guess if he stands next to Chewie and talks to him, people will think that. But, I mean, it's off. It's just really, really badly off, right? And you all can see that. We can see that. Everybody knows that, right? Okay. So let's go then to that park place. Trevor Denning, Disney brings Star Wars original trilogy characters to Galaxy's Edge. Fans roast costumes and wigs. And don't go anywhere. I'm going to read that quote from the Disney employee in just a second. It's breaking news. I got it. This has got the images of what the actual characters look like versus what the Disney characters look like. And let's just say it's not good, right? You all know it's not good. I know it's not good. And it just is what it is. It's pretty darn poor. If we go to the Disney Parks blog, you can see Luke is the best of them. And if that guy was walking around without R2, I don't know that it's Luke. Leia has been switched to a baby blue outfit now. It's like Hoth, but baby blue. I don't know, folks. Maybe that's correct. It's just, this doesn't look great. And the reason it doesn't look great is because this is a testing period. Now, I'll explain that on the other side of this, the breaking news. Peachy Keenan says, I was at Disney when the land launched. In fact, I personally wrote a lot of the copy for the Star Wars land rides, the Star Wars hotel, and the marketing materials, and for the website. Ex-Disney person, right? And when I say there was crushing disappointment, almost a feeling of betrayal that the whole thing was on the new IP and not the original IP, I am not exaggerating. Disney made the decision to invest this money in order to support the new trilogy, which they thought, listen closely, which they thought would erase the old one in the minds of fans. Now, what do you think about the hubris there? Disney purchased Star Wars, essentially. They bought Lucasfilm, but basically they bought Star Wars from George Lucas. And rather than saying, we're going to take these characters and we're going to launch more stories with them, rather than do that, Disney said, we're going to buy this so we can kill this and make our own stuff in its own universe that will be far superior, far better. It's the Hulu idea, right? We'll buy Hulu and then we'll destroy Hulu. We'll stick it into Disney Plus and we'll kill the thing. This would be like if you all decided to buy Superman or Batman or whatever and said, you know what? I actually just bought this for Gotham or Metropolis. I don't actually want Batman or Superman because I think they're stupid, dumb characters. So I'm going to kill them and make my own characters that live in Metropolis and Gotham. You clearly did not purchase the IP for the right reason. And Disney did not when it comes to Star Wars. They legitimately, literally wanted to kill Luke, Leia, and Han. And they did. And they did. He goes on to say, Bob Chapek, who was head of the parks at the time, was in charge of greenlighting all creative in Star Wars land. Here's the problem with that. Bob Chapek could only greenlight what was given to him. I'm not here to be a Chapek apologist. Chapek made a lot of mistakes in the theme parks, but he could only greenlight what was given to him, and what was given to him had to be decided by Lucasfilm and the Lucasfilm story group that was put over there, right? You all remember us talking about Kiri Hart, Kathleen Kennedy, Ryan Johnson planning this. Why is the theme park based on The Last Jedi? Bob Chapek didn't know anything about The Last Jedi. He couldn't have. He wouldn't have. He wasn't developing it at the time. This came from Lucasfilm, who said, here's what it's going to be. We've got the power. We're in charge of this. It says he killed things like a life-size bantha ride where guests would ride around the land on top of a bantha. I don't know that that would have made any difference whatsoever. He killed the live show at the Cantina. That probably would have mattered. And most importantly, he gave the land its own lame subplot where you had to use your phone to scan kiosks and get some code messages deciphered. Blah, 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 blah. We know this. Then reality struck. They made a trilogy that destroyed the OG characters. They elevated an insufferably annoying Mary Sue girlboss, added a pathetic loser of a son of Han, a divorced Leia and Han, a disillusioned and bitter Luke, and then killed Luke, Han, and Leia. Result. J.J. Abrams' career was finished as a filmmaker. Ryan Johnson was wrecked. Kathleen Kennedy is finally out as head of Lucasfilm. Chapek is out. Disney movies are garbage. The greatest entertainment IP ever created was lit on fire to appease the egos of the geniuses who bought it and thought they could outdo the original genius. And now it's too late. No one cares that Darth will be walking around again to John Williams' score. The new Leia face character looks like Brenda. By the way, Tomorrowland already had stormtroopers. Yep, it's true. So there you go, folks. That's how this is being received. Now, remember what I told you? I'd explain why these characters look so badly. Because here's the deal. Yes, we've been saying what we've been saying for years. You have been preaching this for decades, saying, hey, you destroyed my favorite characters. These are not, by the way, just any old corporate asset. These were the most popular characters for decades in American culture. And you took them, and rather than appreciate what made them so popular, you destroyed them on purpose, as the Disney ex-employees now are telling us. You destroyed them on purpose, strategically. You despised that which society had lifted to the top. And the reason you did that is because you fundamentally disagree with society. And we see how that went in the marketplace, right? We see how Rey and Kylo Ren and all that did. How many Reylos are still around? None, nada. So why do these characters, why we finally get Luke, Leia, and Han, why do they not look like the characters? Well, look closely with me. Do you notice that Han Solo kind of looks like a Disney prince? Do you notice that Luke could be Peter Pan, just with a different costume on? Now, I know that's true for, lots of situations, but I would offer to you that although you have believed now for years and years and years and decades, right? Well, a decade, that Disney destroyed Star Wars, and you're right, Disney is still testing this out to figure out, well, do they actually like Luke, Leia, and Han? We could give it to them at Disneyland for a little bit. Let's try that. These are tryouts. This is a test run. They have not brought it to Walt Disney World, and these actors are probably not hired just to play these characters. Han probably, is actually a prince. He's probably Prince Eric. He's probably doing the Little Mermaid show. This is like a 3-week, 4-week stint for him. Hey, we need you to play Han for a little bit, okay? Can you come over here and do that? That's why these characters don't look right, because they're part-timers. Listen, this is a test run of epic proportions that we all could say, hey, you need to get this right. Disney's not getting it right. Why are they not getting it right? Also, partially, I would say because if they get this right, then they'll know they're wrong. To be right is to have been wrong. So why would they put so much effort into being wrong? I don't think they're very interested in that. Do you? Do you? So why? Why do any of this? What's the point of it all, right? Well, this. Project Hail Mary. $523 million at the box office after what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks? It's on its way to making 650, 750, somewhere around there. It's not cynical. It's not dystopian. It's not anti-human. It's not anti-past. It's not against the traditional values, right? It's actually completely opposed to Hollywood. The Mario Galaxy movie, 3 weeks, $650 million. Again, cheerful, optimistic, not at all woke whatsoever. What is the box office telling Disney? Your days are numbered unless you change. And so, they're changing. But they're actually kind of cowardly, right? Because rather than say, we messed up, we're sorry, rather than go back and fix the story, they just want to throw these characters with a little cheap comic into the land and make the money off of them as best they can, but not actually fix anything. And that's cowardly. That's sheepish. That's them recognizing that what they truly believe, kill the past, kill the Star Wars characters, kill what George made, they believe it. But since you rubes out there, since you silly flyover dummies, since you rednecks, since you Neanderthals just demand Luke, Leia, and Han, they'll give them to you for 3 weeks only at Disneyland in Temu Spirit Halloween costumes. And you'll like it. You'll eat it up, right? And then they'll pull them away because, well, we got the Mandalorian and Grogu coming out. But ultimately, that's what this is about as well. Because if Project Hail Mary is making the kind of money it is, and if Mario is making the kind of money it is, and if we see what happens with the Mandalorian and Grogu, if it goes anywhere lower than those, if it's no longer a cultural icon, the Walt Disney Company can't keep running with Star Wars. It's over. The market has absolutely left Lucasfilm. They have no other choice than to switch back to whatever Star Wars was. They have no choice. Or they can just leave Lucasfilm vacant like a Star Wars hotel next to Hollywood Studios. That's an option, right? And they might do that. But that's the choice they have. Switch back, or it's over. Notice they didn't switch back. If they do it all, they didn't switch back until it was absolutely necessary, until there was no other possible option on the table. And still, they're not necessarily doing it. That's how much they loathe you, ladies and gentlemen. Not love you, they loathe you. And that's how much they loathe Western civilization, honestly. They want to invert everything, change the values, change the characters, switch them around. Why? Because they hate the characters. And it just so happens that we selected these characters as a society, right? The most popular characters rose to the top because we believe in whatever it is that they represent. And what they represent is an offense to Hollyweird today. All right, folks, we're going to leave it there. I do want to say we saw some news come out last night about Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, that he is not feeling well, not doing well health-wise. I'm not saying that he's in sort of immediate danger to pass away or anything like that, but that he is chronically ill still and suffering. And so, folks, if you're the kind of person out there that prays, I would just ask for you to say a prayer for Dr. Jordan Peterson and for all of those out there in the world right now who are suffering chronically. That's not a fun place to be, and we want people to be fully activated in this world and out there doing good things. So I don't think it's in anybody's interest for people to be sickly. So say a prayer for those who are suffering. And if you are one of those people out there who's suffering, just know that we're wishing well for you. Folks, if you are in good health, get out there and make the world a better place. It's our job, it's our duty, and it really does matter. If every moment really does matter, watch and see how your life suddenly gets put into the proper order. All right, folks, until the next time, like, share, subscribe, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
What are you doing?
Well, I was feeling really behind and uneducated on all the happenings in the entertainment world. So, I was trying to work out a solution, specifically around 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And, well, this is what I came to.
That's not what that means.
Oh.
But, why wouldn't you just watch Midnight's Edge on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays? And on Tuesdays, on WDW Pro Channel, you got the Pro Show, and on Thursdays, you got That Park Place with Jonas and Vash.
Jonas? That guy sucks.
Well, feel free to jump in the chat and remind him of that regularly.
I won't feel free. I am free, baby. But I think you forgot something important.
What's that?
On Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, there's something really special that happens on Floros Under a Rock.
Ah, right.
Under a Rock, where we don't simply talk about entertainment. We actually try to be the entertainment. Which, I mean, Floral, you're actually kind of dragging the show down, you know what I mean?
Well, theoretically, you and everyone else knows now what's happening at 12 Eastern Time throughout the week.
Yep. Now, just a point of clarity. You say 12 p.m. Eastern Time that the Midnight Edge will be happening. Is Tom gonna commit to being on time?
That's a fair question.
Okay.